For months, Russia believed it still controlled the tempo of this war. Bigger numbers, more artillery, more missiles, more territory. Moscow's confidence was built on one idea, that Ukraine could only react, never truly surprise. That belief just collapsed because Ukraine didn't simply defend this time. It planned, it waited, and then it struck at a moment when Russia was completely unprepared. What makes this operation shocking isn't just where it happened, it's how little Russia could do to stop it. The buildup was almost invisible. No massive troop movements, no loud propaganda buildup, no obvious signals picked up by Russian intelligence. Ukraine quietly reshaped the battlefield using deception, precision, and timing. The kind of warfare that doesn't rely on brute force, but on outthinking the enemy. When the move finally began, Russian commanders were caught in a nightmare scenario. Communications started breaking down. Units on the front line received conflicting orders. Some were told to hold positions that no longer existed. Others were ordered to counterattack an enemy that had already moved on. And that's when the reality set in. Russia wasn't just slow to respond, and it was blind. Ukrainian forces exploited gaps that had been ignored for months. Weak points Russia assumed were secure suddenly became entry points. Supply routes that once fed the front lines turned into traps. Ammunition depots were hit with precision strikes, forcing Russian units to either retreat or fight with what little they had left. What followed wasn't chaos, it was collapse. Russian defensive lines designed to absorb direct assaults failed against maneuver warfare. Ukraine didn't attack everywhere. It attacked where Russia was weakest, then disappeared before a counterstrike could form. This wasn't luck, this was modern warfare at its most ruthless. Russian air power, once considered a decisive advantage, struggled to react. Ukrainian air defenses kept the skies dangerous, limiting how freely Russian aircraft could operate. Drones hunted targets faster than commanders could process information. By the time Russian artillery tried to respond, the battlefield had already changed. Soldiers on the ground described confusion. Vehicles abandoned, equipment left behind. Positions evacuated without a fight, not because morale was gone, but because survival demanded it. And the most damaging part? Russia couldn't escalate without risking even greater losses. Every option carried consequences. Launching massive strikes risked wasting resources on empty ground. Sending reinforcements exposed vulnerable convoys. Pulling back meant conceding territory Moscow had promised would never be lost. Ukraine had forced Russia into a strategic trap. International observers noticed something alarming for the Kremlin. This wasn't a desperate defense anymore, it was confidence. Ukrainian forces moved with purpose, coordination, and control. This operation sent a message far beyond the front lines. Ukraine was no longer just resisting, it was dictating terms. Meanwhile, Russian state media struggled to explain what happened. Narratives shifted, first denial, then minimization, then silence. The speed of events made it impossible to spin effectively, because the facts were simple. Russia was caught off guard, Russia was outmaneuvered, and Russia was temporarily powerless to stop it. This operation exposed a deeper issue. A system built on rigid command structures cannot react fast enough to adaptive warfare. Ukraine's decentralized decision-making allowed commanders on the ground to exploit opportunities instantly, while Russian forces waited for approval that came too late. And once momentum shifted, there was no easy way back. The battlefield after the operation told its own story. Damaged equipment scattered across retreat paths. Defensive positions left intact because there was no time to destroy them. Evidence of a force that expected control and suddenly lost it. This wasn't the end of the war, but it was a warning. If Ukraine can repeat this, even on a smaller scale, Russia's long-term position becomes increasingly unstable. Every successful operation erodes confidence, strains logistics, and forces Moscow to spread its forces thinner across an already massive front. The most dangerous part for Russia isn't the territory lost, it's the precedent set. Ukraine proved that with the right timing, intelligence, and execution, even a larger military can be rendered helpless. Not everywhere, but exactly where it matters most. And now both sides know the truth. The balance has shifted. Surprise is back on the battlefield, and Russia can no longer assume it will see the next move coming.